Hey, I'm Louie, and we're making a Yarnimation. Yarnimation, a form of stop-motion animation using entirely yarn, fabric, and stuffing. Nah, I'm just kidding. This isn't even really a dictionary, and I made that word up. But basically think claymation just with yarn. So basically, this is a behind-the-scenes kind of thing for me making animations to show you guys the process. And I thought it'd be kind of cool if you guys got involved too. I'll ask you guys some questions, and together we can see how tough it is to make one of these. Now, disclaimer: I'm not very good at this. This might end up being crud, but I thought it'd be pretty fun to do, and yeah, we get to see where it's gonna go. So Nintendo just came out with this game called Yoshi's Woolly World. It's a Yoshi game, so think like Yoshi's Story, Yoshi's Island, but everything in it is made out of yarn. The characters are all crocheted and knit, and it adds like, oh my gosh, it's the coolest game. It's one of the coolest games I've ever played. So I thought it'd be really cool to make a Yarnimation for this game. So that's what we're gonna do. So we've got our topic, which is Yoshi's Woolly World. Now, the first thing that I usually do when I'm making my animations is I have to come up with a story. I thought what would be really cool is what if we did Yoshi's first appearance in a game in Super Mario World in this Yoshi's Woolly World style. And this is going to be cool too because usually I have to do storyboarding for each of the scenes, but in this case we have our story set. All we have to do is do a playthrough and each frame will be what we'll use. So we've got our story down. Now we have to do our next part, which is character design. So when we make this, we have to make all the characters for it, and in this case all the characters are already made. We just have to go into the game and look at what characters we have to make and then figure out after that how we want to make them look. So in that case, let's go over to the game. Alright guys, so now we're playing Super Mario World. We want to go through and figure out exactly what animations we want, what characters we need to make, and right when I start it, it's gonna be a lot of work. I don't know if I'm gonna put this beginning scene in or not, maybe, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this part either, the map, but before we get going, there's some characters that obviously we know we have to make. We have to make Mario regular size, we have to make a mini Mario. And then obviously we have to make Yoshi and stuff, but there's some other ones that we're gonna have to make too, and I know because I've played it before I started this video, and I know it's gonna be one hell of a video to make. So we're just going through and we're just gonna play and look at all the animation styles, things that we're gonna need. So obviously we're gonna need mini Mario here. I don't know if I'm ever gonna make him duck in the video, so probably don't have to make that. We have to make Mario Koopa shells, which is easy. I've already made those before. Now this next part is the part where I played it once and I was like, oh crap, I forgot about all these. So right when we start, there's like 8 of these little Koopas. That means we have to make like a bunch of those Koopa characters, which is going to be one hell of an ordeal. Now we have Yoshi, so we have to make the egg, its mini size, and then it like growing, which should be interesting too. We gotta make him be able to open his mouth and do that. His arms are orange in this game, but I don't think I'm gonna make, I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna make his arms orange in the video. I think he looks cooler without orange arms. Also, we have to make all these apples, obviously. Now let's look at this Koopa walking for a little bit to see how it's like moving. Because in our game, we're gonna have to make the Koopa walking. Like, we're gonna have to make him moving like this. Okay, so let's look at this football player. We can probably just make his head moving like that, and it's jumping. But when it's like doing its little, yeah, that thing, when it's doing its like, whoa! Oh shoot, let's go grab her. Oh man. Okay, let's get back to that part. Also, we have our big Mario here, so we can look at him. I like how when he jumps, his hat moves. I don't know if we could do that in the game, but we can try it, or in the video. Oh, I forgot about these little guys. They're like moles. All right, so there's all the characters. Now let's go and design a couple of them, and I'll show you guys how I go about designing my characters. Okay guys, so now that we have our characters, now that we know what characters we want to make, we have to design them. So I'm just gonna do Yoshi as an example here. I'm gonna do this with every character, and usually I use a piece of paper, but I felt like this might be easier if I just opened up a file in Photoshop and we made it this way. We need to kind of like cut him up so that he's made into different parts, and then make all those parts and then put it together. I'm not going to be making it in this video, actually crocheting it, but I'm going to show you guys how I understand how to crochet it basically. So first we want to open it and look at, we want a nose, right? And we want the nose to be round, but kind of like tapered off here, and then we need a head, like the main base of the head, which is kind of, you can see it like under the cheeks here. It's kind of like a weird weird ovally shape, kind of like that. We'll probably use beads for the eyes because I think that looks cooler, and then felt for the outside of the eyes. And then we also need cheeks, which will go, they're just gonna be round. Those will be super easy to make. And then obviously we need a mouth. We need the mouth to be able to open a little bit because we need his tongue to come out. And this is very difficult to do on this program, but I do this for each character because we have to understand how it's going to be put together before we make it, or else we're just freestyling and it will look all weird. Also, we'll need to end up doing the body. The main thing with the body is we want to make him be able to like turn a little bit, like kind of like how he looks in this picture here. I think the best idea for this is to use pipe cleaners on the inside to kind of let him bend a little bit. And then the big parts are the arms. I think we're just gonna have the arms be like kind of like miniature versions of the nose, just like a long cylinder. And then I was thinking that on the inside we could do little clips. They're kind of like snaps, and if we put snaps on each end, then we can make his arm kind of move like a toy. And then we'll do the same thing with the feet. But that's basically how I design all my characters. I'm gonna be doing this for each one. And I won't have time in this video to crochet them, but I'll crochet them, and then in the next video I'll show you guys the finished products for our characters. Also, I need your guys' opinion on something. For our Mario, we're gonna need like a mini Mario and a big Mario and stuff like that, but also usually I make my pod people without noses, basically. So here's an example of, this is the guy from Metal Gear. You can kind of see how he doesn't have a nose. So here's an example of Mario. So this is how I normally make my characters without a nose, but I've made one with a nose here. I want your opinion. What do you like more? Do you like it with the nose or without the nose? I'm thinking for this episode, or for this video, with the nose would look better. Or maybe the tiny version of him without a nose, and then when he gets a mushroom and he grows, we'll do it with a nose. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week.